Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm going to flip the camera for a second. Hey! Hi, it's me. And we are in our hotel room in Poughkeepsie after a long day at Rhinebeck. And hi, everybody who's just joining. Yay! I'm going to flip the camera around so you can see our stuff, because we actually did not do too badly.
No, not too badly.
I had a feeling it was more than what is actually present on the bed at the moment.
You went in with the intention of taking the world hostage, and you didn't do too badly for your conscience. And I went in saying, no, I'm going to be extremely frugal, and though I did buy, it wasn't that bad. So I think we hit a very good balance.
Oh, hi, Knitting Daddy from North Carolina. I just realized I waved and the camera's not pointing at me, but whatever.
Hi.
Okay, so let's see. Here is Miss Maggie's pile.
Yay.
Ta-da. Hi from Florida. Hi, Christian. Okay, so what did you get? I think it's kind of obvious what these two are.
Yep, I found Socks That Rock. I love that the Fold has a huge sign that just has Socks That Rock sold here.
Mm-hmm.
And from the talking that was going on, I thought it was just going to be like one little basket to the side that maybe gets sold out really quickly. They had walls of Socks That Rock.
Yeah.
So I found Raven, which I really like, and I wanted to get something bright that reminded me of the colors that were going on.
Oh, thanks, guys. Actually, oh, thanks, Rosa and Christian. Yeah, that skein on the left is gorgeous. I agree.
Fall Frolic. So
yeah. And Fall Frolic is like a nice colorway for that sort of thing.
So there's that.
Oh, and just to say thanks, Knitting Daddy, that is a really nice haul.
One other thing I did get, but I'm not going to show because it is for my swappy partner, so it's inside here.
Ah,
and
inside.
This is a tote bag, project bag, from Miss Susie, one of our housemates.
Yeah, Knitting Daddy says the one on the left reminds me of Firefly and Serenity. It does.
So here, this is from Miss Susie.
Chiagoo.com. Yeah, Susie was one of our housemates, and she was selling at the Indie Untangled pre-show in Kingston.
Which, again, I totally underestimated because, oh my god, there's all zombies, but with a nice bright aquamarine.
Oop. What's this one down here? Knock 3 times to be admitted. No zombies!
Seemed appropriate for this time of year.
Yeah.
Yep. So that was a big thank you to Miss Susie. This is my very first Into the World skein. Very, very first. And although I did belabor the color somewhat, you can ask Miss Karen, it didn't take nearly as long as it did when I was trying to pick out sweater yarn years ago for my sweater from...
Yeah, you were actually quite fast in getting that one.
So I tried to step out of my color zone because I know I normally veer towards aquamarines and some greens. So I went the other direction and steered more towards purple and orange, and they've got some steel gray down at the bottom.
Yeah, and some red there, and some really nice colors where the purple blends into the orange and red.
It's very interesting. The color, just having it all up on the wall, is kind of like a deer in the headlights. Pretty colors, pretty colors.
Yeah, and they were actually like, I don't know if they were mobbed. Well, they were mobbed this morning because they had a sale of stuff this morning.
Rack.
Yeah, and but for the regular stuff, they weren't as cleared out as they were last year.
Okay.
It could be that they brought more stock.
Also have a little notions pouch from Marsha, just for your little notionsy things. Mm-hmm. And if Marsha has a website, we will find that and put that up.
She has an Etsy store, One Geek to Craft Them All, or I think it's One Geek to Craft All is the actual identity of the store.
Now I did go and get my very own shacked shuttle. So this one is mine. I do have one that's sort of like a loaner from Michelle right now. Mm-hmm. But this one is mine. Yeah, I'll do like what Merida did to her bow, and you'll find me off just sort of scritching in sort of like a thingy in the side and That'll make it fine. And this is a cone of 10 cents. And I have seen on Ravelry, if you look in my favorites, there's some weaving projects in there where people have used one skein of sock.
Boop. Oh, thank you for sharing, guys. And yes, that is some gorgeous purples, and the pouch is really cool. Sorry, we're just getting, I think there's a couple little blips of the video, so I think we're getting comments a little late. So let us know if like the sound cuts out or the video cuts out or anything like that. But yes, you were saying, Maggie.
The project uses Socks That Rock or any other sort of like gradient style yarn and a tencel for a weaving project. And what they do is they arrange the warp so that all of the color repetitions match up on the warp horizontally.
Mm-hmm.
So that it looks, when you weave it, it looks like a watercolor. And they use tencel as the weft. Now, I know I'm not ready for a big girl project yet, because I haven't even learned how to use the dang thing, but I am holding on to this as my this is my inspiration for when I move past like a little, 7x7 square that I have done, and I have bound off, and I did the edges right, and everything else like that. Then I can move on to, yes, now I can finally graduate to this type of thing.
Yes, and hi, Nitty Girl 45.
Okay, so I think...
So that was your haul?
That was pretty much me.
Okay, so moving over to my stuff. I actually thought there were more skeins of yarn that I'd gotten, and it turned out I only got 3. I mean...
You were carrying around a sweater's worth.
Yeah, true. Maybe it just felt like I had more because I was carrying around the sweater that didn't get finished. So, to start with, actually, let's do, okay, well actually my first purchase was project bags, including from Jessalou. They were at the Holiday Yarns booth. Here, I'm going to kneel down so I can show you. And this one, you will notice some familiar things in this sort of toile pattern, like the angel statue and like a certain blue police box. So yes, as soon as I saw that, I was like, I need to have this. Yes! Thank you, Knitting Daddy. I love that bag too. Like I said, I think it was Jessalou, right? Yeah, stitched by Jessalou. So thank you, Alpaca Anna. So yeah, so you can find those at Jessalou's shop. I cannot remember the web address right now. And all her bags come with a little stitch marker. This one has a little bee with blue on it. Oh, you've seen that fabric before? Yeah. Oh, I didn't even look inside!
You did not look inside?
No, I was too busy grabbing the bag before someone else got their hands on it. Because when I first saw it, somebody else was like, oh, these are really cute, picking through them. And then, like, I was like, bitch, put it down. I didn't even see the inside fabric. That's really pretty. And when they had ones like this, with fabric like this, that same sort of, like, vintage toile look, but instead of the TARDIS and Doctor Who stuff, it was Starship Enterprise in the background.
Nice.
And, like, Kirk and Spock. Obviously having landed in front of this, this pastoral scene and wondering what the hell was going on. So yeah, so there's that one. And then I got this the night before at the Indie Untangled show. It's white birch fiber arts. Oh, and what's their saying there? Friends don't let friends craft with insipid yarn. Oh, and there's the web address, so I can... Yeah, whitebirchfiberarts.etsy.com. And this one's in the electric slide colorway. Superwash merino and nylon. And this is like a self-striping. Except the stripes are... It was really nice because the stripes weren't like... Oh, there's lots of hearts coming up for that one. The stripes aren't like really solid. They sort of, there's like a lighter gray, it progresses from a lighter gray into a dark gray and a black. And then out of that into a light bluey turquoise.
Tiny bit of gradient.
Yeah. So you get a little bit of a slide from one color to the next. Okay. And next, let's see, what else? I got, this is actually going to be for a skein that I got last year. I got a skein of yarn from Fox Hill Farm, which I don't think they have a website because I think I checked. It's a Cormo cross breed, and it's 100% wool in 570 yards. I got a skein of this in like pretty much the same color from what I could tell, last year at Rhinebeck, with the intention I could make, a shawl or something out of that. And then, considering I hadn't used it yet before this year, lots of hearts for that one, thank you. I was like, well, I'm going back to another skein, so I can do a bigger thing out of it. So
whatever the thing is, it is now bigger.
Yeah, it's now bigger on the inside of my imagination.
Okay.
So yeah, it's really gorgeous. It's a lace weight, and it is super lovely. It's so soft, and it's this lovely, it's kind of hard to tell in this light, but actually it's maybe fairly true. It's sort of like a grayish with a slightly yellowy undertone, and it's kind of slightly subtly heathered. It's really pretty. You can see the little flecks in it. So yeah, so I did get some from an independent farm. And then one of the other things I really wanted to do this year, even though That Way Lies Madness, I wanted to go to the Miss Babs booth.
She needed elbow pads and maybe a Spartan team.
Yeah, and get one of these, the Katadin, I think it's pronounced, or the, what's the other counterpart? The Kilimanjaro. That one's, yes, it's yarn crack, basically. Oh, hi, Awilda! Hi, Awilda! Say hi to Maggie! Maggie can't see the comments, but I can. Okay. But yeah, I wanted to get these because these are 1,750 yards of Blue Face Leicester fingering weight. Hi! Yes, Christian, yes, addicted to Miss Babs. I have a skein of Miss Babs sock yarn at home that I got when I went to the Kentucky Sheep and Wool Festival a few years ago. Yes, thumbs up from Alpaca Anna. So yeah, I had seen Glenna made at least one pie shawl. Lots of hearts coming up right now. Made at least one pie shawl out of one of these, and hers looked so pretty that I was like,
wearing today, do you think?
I forget.
Okay.
It might have been. I think she's made more than one now.
Of course, it's Glenna.
So the colorway is Livid. So it's a very dark purple with little bits of like slightly more pinky in it, but it's a very subtle color change, except for a few little bright areas. So I kind of wanted to get one of these. Yeah, love that color, Wilda. And I initially had a skein in my hands. I can't remember the colorway name, but it was a really dark teal. And I saw this one, I love this one too, and I was sort of looking at them both. And meanwhile, like, I am pressed in like a sardine. Like, yeah, hi. I am like pressed in like a sardine because the Miss Babs booth is crazy. It is like people elbow to elbow, shoulder to shoulder, trying to push past each other to get at the yarns. It is always madness.
And it's almost as bad just to get to her register, too.
Yeah, I wasn't even there at the beginning of the Saturday. I was there near the end of the Saturday, and I knew it was going to be nuts. So I just decided to go for it and get one of these, and I sort of squished my way in. But, every second I was there, I was like, oh my god, I am blocking someone else from accessing this, so someone might, elbow me in the kidneys any second. So I need to decide. So I decided to go with One that I don't already have probably a lot of in my stash, unlike the teal. Because I was like, well, I do have that big skein of the Woolmeise lace in a lovely teal. So this one will be a nice big shawl too. And it's so pretty. I love it. Other than that, I'll show the last bit of fiber. I wasn't planning to get anything from Into the World, but then I was looking at stuff. Oh, well, trust me. It's a good thing you like hearing our excitement because we don't exactly do a very good job of hiding it.
No, we don't.
We don't bottle it up very well. But then I saw this colorway, and I saw the name, Shaken Not Stirred. I was like, oh, I really like the colorway name, and it's named after a thing I like. I may have to get that. So there's this really strong blue. Yes, Targy! Eee! Says a Wilda. And there's this gray and a little bit of brown, and yeah. As soon as I saw it, especially because I saw this colorway in a couple other fibers. Wilda says Targy is made of happiness and clouds. So I will see about that when I start spinning it. But then I saw in this one seemed to have more gray in it, which I liked better than the brown. And those blues are so intense and gorgeous and kind of like Daniel Craig's eyes.
Back to Earth.
I'm sorry, what? You were saying something? Okay. Anyway. Yes, back to Earth. And lots of hearts coming up. I don't know if that was the Daniel Craig eyes comment or if it was just showing the fiber. They could tend to be a little delayed. Okay, so, and again, other little things. I got a couple more cables for my twist Chow Goose set because you can never have too many, because you can never have too many projects on the go and therefore have run out of cables. And I got, I don't think this has a name on it. Hearts in eyes. From the yarn shop at Foster Sheep Farm, I got something I love but is hard to find. Sheep's milk soap. If you guys have never tried sheep's milk soap, it is the most amazing stuff ever. It is so rich and creamy and lathery. It's wonderful. But it's hard to find. And my battery's dying again. Good Lord. Okay, wrapping this up quickly, because I don't want this to die before I finish the video again. Last thing. Oof. Maggie's helping.
Yep.
I found buttons for my sweater from Melissa Jean Designs. I'll turn it over. So you've got, www.melissajean.net. And there's her Ravelry group, Twitter. Ooh, there's a $10 off code here. Whoa. Or 10% off, I should say. So these are the buttons for my sweater. I'm going to put it on the white of the bag because the coverlet's a bit yellowy. Yeah, so these are the buttons to go on my not yet finished Rhinebeck sweater. They're sort of a slightly olivey green with a little bit of blue in it and this little flowery design. And I think they'll look mighty good with, let me dig the sweater out of my bag. And it's a little dark in here, so it's hard to see, but
You can just shimmy over that way a little bit.
yeah. I'm going to move everything over this way, into the light, out of the darkness and into the light. So yeah, you can see how the buttons are going to look on the sweater. I love these buttons so much. So yeah, I think they're going to look great on there.
Yeah, I think they were a good choice.
And they're porcelain. And all handmade, so they're all slightly, little tiny differences between them, but it's going to make them look really nice. So I will wrap up the video so that my battery doesn't die again to end a video, as it tends to do. So, okay, back to me and Maggie. So, we had a great time at Rhinebeck.
Yes, we did.
Absolutely loved it.
We'll do again.
Sad to be going home.
No, there's a bath there.
Yeah, true. And my cat. My
Yes.
cat's at home. Okay, so hopefully we recorded a little bit at Rhinebeck, so hopefully we'll have an episode out soonish to get home. Because, oh God, work and college courses.
Yeah, in reality.
Oh, Jesus.
So.
No, I don't want to go back to reality. Okay, so we'll see you guys then.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Stop.